I'm going to put on the recorder. My name is Jane Mark. I'm the president of So Cool Inc. And I am so glad that you are joining us this Saturday, this special Saturday before Father's Day, because I really want to go into something quite different than we usually do. A lot of times on our webinars, as many of you know, we go into depth into a site. I want to steer you down a little bit different road today. So in order to get started, um, let's kind of go over a question, which I want you to throw some answers up in the chat box where Phil's monitoring it. Let me give you the question just to get you in the right frame of mind. Here's the question. People often talk about branding themselves. What does that really mean? What does branding yourself really mean? There's no right answer, wrong answer. Just throw some ideas up in the chat box and let's see what kind of ideas you come up with. People often talk about branding themselves, but what does branding yourself really mean? Don't be shy. There's no right answers, no wrong answers. Throw some ideas up. What does that mean to you? Because it's very, very important if you're going to be successful online. So let's throw some ideas up. We got any answers? What? Hang on, we're getting answers. Okay, good. Something to identify yourself so you can become known. Very good. Who said that? Who? Oh, Steve. Hi. I didn't even know Steve was here. I haven't gotten down all the list here of names. Great. Absolutely. That's correct. What else? Giving people a concept of what you're all about. Absolutely. Who? Oh, Donnie Gambrell. Great. Very good answers I'm getting. Come on, some of us. Throw some more answers at me, guys. Don't be shy. People often talk about. Oh, wait, Phil's laughing. Somebody said something funny. What is it? Russell Warren says. What? Burning yourself with. You know, I was just about to say that's exactly what branding isn't online. Russell says it's burning yourself with a hot iron, which of course technically is absolutely dead on right. But if you do that to yourself online, I think you're going to do yourself a mischief, as they say. So don't brand yourself with a hot iron. I love it. Okay, one more. Go ahead. Oh, wait, that's very good. Hang on, Phil. I want you to read that whole thing. Hold on, because I can't remember the whole thing.
Okay, this is Mark Volansky, and he says, let people know that you are the go-to guy in your respective area of business and creating your own identity separate from your opportunity. That's a very, very good answer because it identifies it very clearly that you're branding yourself. You're not branding the opportunity you're promoting.
Nice. Oh, you guys are so good. These are really, really good answers, guys. Making yourself known and familiar to others. Who said that? Oh, Ezell. Yes, very nice answers, guys. Here's just a few catchwords that I wrote down, but you are all correct. Here's some of the things I think about when branding: standing out, doing something different, making people remember you, being unique, and being a trendsetter. You can just add those to all of these great answers that we really just got from you guys. They're all good answers and they're all correct. And I want to give you an example from one of the guys who gave us the first answer, which is Steve Terpster, who's one of our wonderful clients. And he has done everything right online. I'm telling you, he's done everything right. He's building lists. He's promoting his own list and he's promoting to outside lists. He is buying the tools he needs to succeed. But the other day he asked me, how can I do better and stop struggling online? And I reminded him of some of the first things that he sent to me when he first found us online and started doing business with us. And what I reminded him of was that he used to send me these wonderful, funny stories and jokes. And every once in a while, they would pop into my email box. And because they were wonderful and made me laugh and made me feel good, I opened them all the time and read them, and I often just sent back a quick note to Steve. I love this. This is fabulous. You made me laugh. Well, I'll tell you, I couldn't forget Steve if I wanted to, and I don't want to, but the bottom line is every time he sends me an email or he sends an email on my list, I now open it because I see that not only is he a businessman who wants to succeed online and make some money, but he is branding himself in a way that most of us don't do. It's not that we can't do it. It's we don't take the time to do it. And I started seeing Steve send out a few funny stories on his list mailings, not just to me privately. And I'm telling you, Steve, if you stick to that, because that's going to become kind of your own mantra that people will remember about you. Oh, that's that crazy, funny, wonderful guy, Steve, who sends funny stories out. Believe me, even if he's sending you out a promo, you are going to read it and open it, as I do, because I never know what's going to come from him next. So that's one of the ways that you can start to begin to brand yourself. Do something that you love to do. Can't be just something you don't like. But, maybe you're funny or maybe you're inspirational or maybe you're goofy like Phil and I. But I'll tell you a short story about Phil and I and the way we started online and became really well known. And that's because in the midst of the millions of advertising tools that there are online that people could buy. We were just one little small company when we first started. So we said to ourselves, how are we going to get noticed among all of these hundreds and hundreds of people who produce advertising tools? And we finally came up with this wacky idea where we created two characters named Joe and Mabel. And Mabel was kind of a ditzy broad from New York City. Sounds familiar, like me. And Phil was kind of this funny guy from Australia. And we just started to write solo ads, but not just your ordinary solo ads. We would write solo ads in the character of Joe and Mabel. And they were funny as heck, and they got a lot of attention. In fact, they caught the attention of some of the biggest, at that time, this was 16 years ago, of some of the biggest marketers online like Mark Joyner and Joe Vitale and Willie Crawford. A lot of people were, what? And who's the guy mining gold? I forgot, Sean Casey. So they started seeing these goofy ads coming out on the line. And we finally were able to make contact with them, and we set up a radio show where they could be as goofy as we were on the radio show. And it's called Joe. Well, we wrote a book called Joe, Yes, Mabel, Are We Rich Yet? And those ads, the identical ads that we use to really get well known online are in that book. In fact, Phil, put up the follow along link now so that people can follow along with what you're doing, because I'm going to give you a lot of ways that you can get noticed online, and you can choose the one that's really the most comfortable for you. At any rate, Joe and Mabel, the radio show, got the attention of every big marketer online. They all did little skits with us, 5-minute skits, and they're still on type in joeandmabel.com, Phil, so people can see the crazy radio show that we used to do. Anyone who was anyone online at that time became a part of that radio show because, first of all, they loved it. They were having fun. They didn't need it for their own careers. But on the other hand, it gave them a way to let them be themselves in ways they never got to do when they were just sending out their own information. So that gives you a couple of ideas of how you brand yourself online. Steve is doing it in a wonderful way in terms of sending out funny stories and jokes. Phil and I did it in this goofy, zany way where we made up 2 characters. You have to decide for yourself what it is that you're good at. Maybe you're a beautiful writer and you're very inspirational, or maybe you're just very good at writing very short, pithy, catchy ads. Everybody has some talent and something that they like to do and something that speaks to who they are. And you want to convey that when you're working online because, after all, just like Phil and I 16 years ago when we started, were competing with huge numbers of people who are very, very successful. That's what you're doing now. You're competing with even more, because now there are thousands and millions and I guess billions of people who are doing business opportunities, or maybe they're selling jewelry online, or maybe they're selling this book that I mentioned where you can create your own book. Whatever it is you are doing online, you have a lot of competition. So you need to stand out in some way. Grabbing an ad, a canned ad from somebody, from a website that you're going to promote, it's not going to help you. It really won't. You're going to get buried alive like that. You really, really need to say, what can I do to make my subject lines more interesting? Or, and this is where we're going to take a really careful look, or my capture pages more interesting. And let me stop right there for a minute because, we've all said, and you all know, that you need your own list online. You need your list. You need your list. It has to be your own list. Nobody can say this. Certainly, I cannot say this enough times. But how do you build a list when everybody else is trying to build a list from basically the same subset of people that you are? And I'm going to say this again, you need to stand out in some way. If you send out, so let me backtrack a minute before we go there. We're all, in order to build a list, you need to actually steal other people's list members. I know that just may sound terrible, but we call it OPL, other people's list. You're using other people's lists to build your own list. So, just like in real estate, you use other people's money, like the bank or whoever, you get a group of partners together and you invest in a bill, that's other people's money. Online, in order to make money and build a list, you're going to use other people's lists, so OPL. When you send to other people's lists, don't ever, ever, ever send out a direct link to the site you are promoting. I'll tell you why that is so important. The reason is you only, let's say you send out, I don't know, let's say you're a member of I Can Get To Mike G's new site, and you send out a direct link. You only get one shot to talk to that person, and that's in the email that you actually sent. And if they look at it and they say one of two things. Oh, I already belong to this site, so I'm not going to sign up under you. That's one thing they can say. Or they can say, I'm not really interested in this. That's another thing they can say. And then they close your link and your ad. End of story. You've lost that person forever. Do not do this. Please, I'm begging you, don't do this. You need to send out a capture page in every single mailing that you send out unless the list is yours. Obviously, to your own list, you don't have to put them on another list, so you don't have to send out a capture page. But when you mail to anyone's list, whether it's Phil and my list or a lot of the smaller lists that are online, we all belong to those lists. If you are simply sending an ad out with your direct link, you are losing out on the most valuable time and asset and thing that you can have to make money online, and that is capturing people's names and emails and getting them on your own list. So bottom line here is you want to send out a capture page, but you do not want to send out a canned capture page. So what do I mean by a canned capture page? I mean that many sites now will offer you not only an affiliate link that you can send out, which maybe just look like the regular site, but they will offer you a number of capture pages that you can send out. Well, that doesn't really do you any good because it means that everybody and his brother is sending out the same capture pages. That is not what you want to do. So just as we started this webinar where you want to brand yourself and be different and stand out in some way, you want to create an original capture page. I'm going to show you some of the ones that I've done. And this is at our site On Your List, which I know many of you belong to, so this will be very easy for you to do. Phil, just put up the On Your List, just onyourlist.com so people will know what I'm talking about. I'm going to show you some of my capture pages. And I'm going to point out as I show them to you why. Let me see how I can get this up. I'm working between two, what do you call browsers here? Okay. Yes. Okay. All right. Here's a capture page from On Your List. By the way, Phil created On Your List because it would be very simple for a tech idiot to use. That's me. I said to him, after going to Aweber and GetResponse and trying to make capture pages there and losing my mind and ending up in tears, I said, Phil, please make me a site where I can do 1, 2, 3 and set up a capture page in really under 60 seconds. And I can do that. Now, if I can do that, you guys can do it because I am a tech idiot and I mean that very sincerely. Okay, so this is a very simple capture page. It's not an business opportunity, and because of that, and it's totally free to join, it's just a list that I was building which has over 9,000 people on it, by the way, in 6 months. And the reason is, I want you to see this because you're going to see this on almost every one of my capture pages. I've got my face there. You need to put your face your name and your face should be on everything you do. In other words, your name when you send out an email, sign the email. Do not send out anonymous emails. People do not want to do business with somebody they don't feel comfortable with. If you have no name, they're probably not going to feel comfortable with you. If you create a capture page and there's a way for you to put your picture on it, put your picture on it so people know they're dealing with a real live human being. We all want to do that. When you walk into a store, you look the salesperson in the eye, right? And they hopefully say hello and smile and all of that good stuff. It's no different online. You don't want to do business with a stranger who seems aloof or out of sight or afraid to put their name or face on something. Always, always put your face on a capture page. Okay, so this is very simple. As you can see, it has a little picture of a rose, and there's nothing to it really, except that my picture is there. And then I want you to notice two other things. I don't know if you can see this, but the URL, Phil, do you have the follow along up? The link? Because if you click on the follow along link, you will see, I don't know if you can see it in my browser, but this says AnyaList.com, stay in touch /AnyaList, which is my username. What does that mean? It means that every link that I create at AnyaList has a unique URL, and I can put the main point of what I'm trying to say in a capture page right in the URL. First of all, that's great if you're doing keyword stuff. It's great because nobody blocks you when you have a unique link. And secondly, and thirdly, I mean, when people see the link, it gives them some idea of what they're getting into. So this one is very simple. The name of it is Stay in Touch. And then I make an action button, which takes 2 seconds in AnyaList, and I make it unique to the site. Yes, stay in touch. So that's the way I'm going to capture. For this particular one, I'm going to capture their name and email because this is free. It's simple. I make it easy for them to join. And that's one kind of capture page you can do. All right. Okay, Phil wants to say something. What?
Corinne just said, that she's not very photogenic. Can she put, could she put something else on there? I said, using your own face is always better than using a poodle or a flower.
Phil, okay, somebody was saying that they're not very photogenic. I was going to mention that too. It absolutely does not matter. Phil's answer, so she asked, well, can I put something else up there? Yes, you certainly can do that. You can put a logo for a site. You can put whatever you want as long as, I don't know, on AnyaList, I think it has to be 150 by 150 or smaller. But absolutely, you can put something else there if you want to brand that. But I'll tell you that the photogenesis of yourself is not the issue here. You do not have to be Marilyn Monroe to put your mug on a capture page. It doesn't matter. People would rather relate to a person than even a beautiful logo or whatever. So try to get over that because it is not that important the way you look. It really, really isn't. If you truly don't want your picture up there, okay, but put something that relates then, like a logo or some design that you've made that maybe you want to brand yourself with, which is perfectly okay, and put that in this space instead. And that's fine. Okay, so let's go on. This didn't make me any money, meaning it's not going to a business op. When you sign up, you're just getting on a list. But it got 9,000 people in 6 months. So that was an effective capture page. Now, let's go to another very effective capture page. Well, yeah, if you mail out and people buy stuff for you, that's the idea of a list, is that, so I don't mean I haven't made money directly from this list, but it wasn't the first goal. It was simply to get people on the list and to stay in touch with us. So, and us with them. Okay, now this one is a horse of a different color. So let's take a look at this one. This one is called Walk in the Park. And this was one of my most successful capture pages. And I'm going to go over it a little bit with you. First of all, the name is in it, Walk in the Park. And when I send out an email on this, the subject line is making money online is just a walk in the park. And notice my background. It's this beautiful picture or beautiful actually painting that one of our clients did, but you can get your hands on it and on your list and use it also. It's a beautiful picture of Central Park. Notice I got my picture. My mug is there again, right there. So people get to know who is sending this out. And then I have, oh, by the way, whenever you're creating a capture page, there's all sorts of, what do you call it, default copy. But you need to change I forget what ours says right now, but it says something like, just fill out your email name and we'll never sell your information, yada, yada. Forget about that. Change it so it says something about what you're trying to convey. So I'm trying to convey how easy this is to create wealth online. Enter your name and email below. And then notice the action button says, yes, let me in now. So that's one I created for this site. Now, let me tell you what this site produced. 3,400 people over a period of about 11 months, but $275,000 in sales. Because it leads, if you fill out this form, you're going to get to onyourlist.com. And people love the site. It's a very popular site. So there's a much smaller list than the one that got 9,000, the Stay in Touch one. But this one was designed to make sales, and it accomplished its purpose because $275,000 from one site is a heck of a lot of money. I think all of you will agree on that. So again, I picked up the title is in the URL, so I will never get blocked anywhere. Walk in the Park. I put my face on it. I changed all the copies so that it can conform to what I'm talking about, and it did its job. Now, let me show you one more. This one is also leading to On Your List. So it's a promotion. It's called Hot Stuff. Let me put this one up for a second. And I'll show you why I use this one. Okay, the reason I want it, we have some videos that you can use on your list. And this one, it's a fire burning. Not sure if you guys can see it because it's a little dark. And I didn't put my face on here for a reason. I wanted the fire burning in the background to be the main event for this particular capture page. So you can see this site is on fire. It converts at 76%. You always want to make your copy match your background, and pays 4 times from one sale. I use the word sizzle, and then the action button is give me the sizzle now. So this site was just like when I'm not sending out the Walk in the Park one, I send out this one. And this one has about 900 people on it. And I just lump the sales. They're part of this one is part of the 275,000 I was talking about. But it shows you, I guarantee you nobody else is going to have this particular capture page. It's unique. So is the Walk in the Park one. What? and the link is unique. The whole thing is a way of branding yourself. Now, let's do one more because this is a very small list, but it's something that you can do to attract attention. This has only 23 people on it. So that's by anybody's stretch of the imagination. A short list. And what is it? It's this one day, I sometimes do what's called Jane's Sunday sermons, and I try to be inspirational, or sometimes they're political, or they can be all over the place. This one was just one of the most beautiful love songs I have ever heard. So I just put it together. I grabbed the love song from YouTube, and I just did a little capture page on it, and I sent it out one day, and 23 people loved it and apparently listened to the song. So sometimes you just want to do something that's interesting to you. I'm a musician. I love music. I sing. I play the guitar. I do all that wonderful stuff. And music is part of my life. So whenever I can, I once in a while make up a musical capture page and send it out. And the reason it does not matter to me whether my list has one person on it or 9,000 or anywhere in between is because I'm going to log into OnYourList and show you why it matters not one whit to me how big any of these lists are. So let me just flip you over. So we're going to log in. Okay, so at OnYourList, now OnYourList does two things. It can build your list strictly at OnYourList, meaning all your leads come into OnYourList, right? And here's my leads. If I go here, I've got on all of the capture pages I've made an OnYourList in about a year now. I've got 24,792 people on various lists. Now, I could have attached my capture pages to Aweber or GetResponse or GVO or any autoresponder that you're already building. That you can do it on your list. So you don't need to build your list at just OnYourList. But the reason I like to do that here is because after I'm finished doing mailings or whatever I'm doing for the day, I can go right in here. It's called the OnYourList mailer. And I can email, I emailed them today, but you'll see it's going to say I can mail in 17 hours because I've already emailed. You can email once daily, and you can email all of your lists. So that means that if your list has one person on it or 500,000 on it, it doesn't really matter. You can email them once a day, but you could also email selected lists. So I love this because it's so easy. I send out a mailing, people get on my list, and I do a mailing to my OnYourList members once a day, and I do it without fail. So my point here is that if you want to build lists online, you must use other people's lists, first of all. And if you're using other people's lists, then you want to send a capture page out, because whether you're capturing leads on OnYourList or you're capturing them at Aweber or Traffic Wave or whatever autoresponder or mailer you use, it doesn't matter. You still need to do exactly what we started this webinar with. You still need to brand yourself and do something different. So even if I'm mailing to a small little list, like a list launched the other day, and maybe it has 300 or 400 people on it by this time, that's a small list, but it doesn't matter. If I can capture one person, meaning steal one person from that list and get them onto my OnYourList list, then I can mail to them every single day. So I don't just get one shot at them by sending out just an affiliate link. I start to put them on a list. And in that way, I get to mail to them over and over again. Now, not everybody loves the same thing that you're sending out. Some people may want to buy into mailing lists. Other people love traffic exchanges. I'm talking about advertising tools now because that's what we do. Some people just want to go to a place that generates traffic. So your mailings aren't going to always result in sales. It depends on what you're mailing out, when, and to whom. But at least if your people get to know you and like you, when they see something that they need or they're interested in, they will open it because they know you, they trust you, they like you, and you've spent some time trying to be helpful in one way or another and not only just sell things. So the way you do that successfully, and this is what I told Steve, the way you do that successfully is that you mail something out every once in a while that's just you and part of you, like funny stories or jokes, and you mail it on a capture page. Please, please send out capture pages, because you've got to start thinking long term when you're building a business. It can't just be, what can I bring in today? Can I make $10 today or $400 today or anything today? There's going to be days and weeks where you bring no money in, but if you got 1 or 2 or 5 or 10 people on your own list, that's the long-term plan in order to be successful online. You need to start thinking long-term and forget about what's happening today in front of your nose, because I get emails from people all the time. They make me laugh. I don't know what else to do, because if I read them and I didn't laugh, I'd start to cry. They say, I sent out 2 emails. And first of all, I get this, I'm going to call it BS story. I sent out 2 emails and I got no results. And I always get results from, I bet some of you have sent this into somebody, and I always get results when I send out an email. Well, right away, I know if I'm reading that somebody is telling me they always get results when they send out an email, they're giving me a song and a dance and a story, because that's just, I have huge lists, 600,000. I can sometimes send out a mailing that falls totally on its face. I think it's the best ad I ever wrote, or the best story I ever wrote, and obviously nobody else does because nobody responds to it. So that's very short-sighted. Nobody is going to make sales every day. You're not even going to get sign-ups every day. Some days are just going to be lousy, and that's the way it is. But if you keep the goal in mind, which is, how can I keep building this list? Where do I go to keep building my list? Where do I use other people's lists to get people on my own list by using a capture page? Guys, I can't say it any more simply than this. If you send out emails every day that have a capture page in it that lead to a list that you're developing, I can promise you that you will ultimately make sales if you've got the stick-to-itness to not get impatient or give up or say, oh my God, nothing happened. It's been 30 days and nobody's responding. Yes, that may be true. You may send out emails for 30 days and nobody responds. But I'm telling you that if you're sending out informational emails and funny emails, or ones that are slightly different than the run-of-the-mill, your list members will start to respond to you because they will know that you are actually interested in what you're doing and in thinking about it. And so please do these 2 things for me, 3 things. Think about a way you can brand yourself that really lets you come through, because then it's fun for you to do it. You can't make it it can't be something that's totally foreign to your personality. For example, Phil is the funniest person I have ever met. If I tried to be funny, I'm telling you, people would be in tears because I'm not really a funny person. So, I mean, once in a while I can tell a joke, but it's most of the time it falls flat on its face. So I wouldn't be a good one like Steve to be sending out jokes or even finding funny stories. It's just not me. Do I love to teach people and help people? Yes, that's me. And I will do that. I'm telling you, I will take a newbie and I will work to them till the day I die, until they turn around and show me they don't want to put any work in. Then I won't work with them. But in other words, we all have our own talents and our own way of being, and you need to let that shine through in both the capture pages that you create and send out and in the ads. I'm going to call them ads, but they could be articles, ads, whatever kind of promos you send out. They need to have your own personal stamp on them. And then I'm telling you, you will do just fine. So now that leads me to a very important pre-launch that we are doing. I promised you we would pre-launch our new site. Let me type it in here. Hold on. I got to get rid of you guys over to the other side. It's called Magic Kingdom Mailer. It's so new, I don't even know how to type it in yet. .com. Oops. If you can spell right, it helps. Let's try it again. Magic. As most of you know, spelling is not my strong suit. Kingdom. I try, but there we go. Okay, so this is a new mailer that we are just, it's completed to the extent that it has 3 mailers and all 3 of the mailers work, which for me is like heaven. Let me just log in here for a minute. Okay, let me log into my main account. Ow, it's not taking my login. Let me check. Kingdom. Oh, I don't know what. Oh, you're right. Okay. Phil's making fun of me. It's a good thing you can't hear him. Well, I don't know, RoboForm. When RoboForm disappears on me, I'm on my own here. Okay. So here, I've got an admin mailer. I have 13 members in my downline because we have some people who have been beta testing. This is my own list, by the way, guys. This has nothing to do with outside people's list because this is my downline. I can mail to them every day. Then there's the MKM mailer, which I can mail to every day, which I've already mailed to today. It has right now about 140 people on it who have been beta testing it. So it's very small. We're just in pre-launch right now, but that will grow because we always grow our list, and you can mail to that every day depending on your membership level. We have one of our huge mailers, which is 500K. And if you're a sorcerer, we call it sorcerer, which is really a founding member, you can mail to 10,000 every one day. I want you to notice these numbers for a minute. We all join lists online. Remember, we've been talking about OPLs, other people's lists. There are probably no sites that I know of, or very, very few, that have huge mailing lists where you can reach a big chunk of members every day. Because there is a difference between mailing to 10,000 people and mailing to 400 or 500 or, 200 or whatever. A big difference, especially if you're mailing out capture pages, because remember, your job, guys, is to get some of those 10,000 people every day or whenever you can, but every single day you hope to get one or two or three people on joining your capture page, and then you have them on your list forever, and they are yours to get to know and to work with and to brand with and to get them to like and trust you. This is very rare. We are one of the few people or advertising people online who offer tools that let you reach these huge numbers of people. Now, does that mean you're going to get 500,000 signups? No, you're not going to get that. But if you send out a capture page, I don't care whether you get 1 or 10 or 15, even in a month, 15 people on a list that is all yours is really, really important. And you can do that in two ways at Magic Kingdom Mailer. You can do it obviously by sending out a capture page and getting them on your AWeber or on your list mailer, wherever mail you mail. But you can also promote the site and earn 50% of the sales and by promoting, but you can reach your downline. Every day you can reach your downline. So this is a really cool mailer. I love it. You can also, you get automatic, especially at the um, sorcerer level, you get 50,000 mailing credits every month. So you are never going to run out of credits. So you're not going to have to earn credits to mail. But you can, at the lower membership levels, you will probably run out of credits. You get 5,000 automatic ones a month or 10,000, and you can earn credits. This is, we just started, so we only have a few mails out yet, but you can earn credits here. You can always earn mailings. And even free members can, you can mail to the list I think it's every 2 weeks. I'm going to stop and say here something here. By the way, nobody joined this free today. That's not what we're doing, like a beta, a soft launch, but only with paid members because we want them to kick the tires in the site and see what they like and don't like and all that kind of stuff. And see if there are any bugs, which there always are in a new script. So those of you who know us and maybe like us and know that we put out good products, I do want you to join today, and I'll tell you why, because let's go to the upgrade page. This price of getting to use 3 mailers, this is our webinar special price. All of these are going to go up, but particularly this one, because this is a lifetime membership. You pay once and that's it. But you get the 3 mailers. Nobody else gets the 3 mailers, just the sorcerer. And those are really the heart and soul of the site. This is going to go way up to at least $4.97, at least, if not more. So if you want this, and you know that you can use the mailers now, that there are going to be things that you have to wait for. For example, you can put ads in like a showcase ad. I'm not going to go over the whole site. We'll do a whole thing on this site, but you get a lot of advertising, but only these 2 types are ready now. Next week we'll be adding in this, and there's a Hall of Fame and a lot of other stuff that's coming. But the heart of it, which is the mailer, where you can do capture pages and send out mailings and reach 500,000 people, 10,000 at a time, is there. So if you want a really good mailer and you want 3 of them, grab this price, because this is our opening salvo with these prices, but most people don't understand what it takes to run mailers online. A lot of servers. We have like 8 servers now, our own servers that we use. It's very expensive to run mailers. So these prices will go up. They have to. But for today, for the webinar, I wanted people on the webinar who were really interested in starting out the right way. And when I say starting out the right way, you do need to join lots of mailers. You need to join at least 1 or 2 every month, because that's the way you expand your own list. You mail to other people's lists. You always use a capture page. You get them on your own list. And if you can start to reach bigger lists like Magic Kingdom Mailer is, that's where you want to be ultimately. Now, there are lists that you can join, for $97 one time, or even some of them $67 one, and they're fine, and you should definitely be joining them. But they're never going to grow to 10,000 people, let alone 500,000 where you're reaching new audiences all the time. So when you see prices like this for large mailers, you should jump on them. And this one I've been testing it now for about 3 weeks, and I love it. I mean, it's just great. Oh, Phil's wants to tell you something because he designed it, so he really knows about it.
I just want to summarize what Jane's been saying about branding and how it relates to the Magic Kingdom mailer. When you think of branding yourself, try to relate it to the real world. It's always struck me as amazing that when you see people online, when they think about branding themselves, they seem to act totally different on the internet than they would in the real world. I want you to imagine for a minute that if a friend came over to your house, say every Tuesday you had a standing engagement where you got together, played cards or did whatever, had a barbecue together, and this friend came over to your house every Tuesday, and every time they came over, they tried to sell you something. They wouldn't be a friend very long, would they? I mean, you'd get pretty sick and tired of it. But yet on the internet, when we build a list, that's all we ever do. I see marketers making this mistake time and time and time again. And like Jane was telling Steve earlier, or talking about Steve, how he sends out these funny stories in between the offers that he makes. That's the way to do things. Send out tips, send out whatever you're good at, whatever advice that you've got for people, send it out and intersperse it in between the ads. I once heard a guy by the name of, what's his name? Terry, God, I can't think of it. Well-known marketer. His name's Terry something. I can't think of it now. He said that every 4th email that he sends out is an offer. The rest are helpful tips. And he has a huge list and he makes a lot of money online. I want you to think about that, because you just sending out ads to people all the time, you're not going to keep them very long. You really want to give them good information or good stuff so that they keep coming back to you. I want to know what this person's saying. That's how you really brand yourself. So in relation to branding again, people follow originals. Don't copy other people. People don't follow copies, they follow originals. So you need to be original in everything that you do. And the final point is, as Jane was saying, you need to be able to build your list by stealing other people's list members. That's the quickest and fastest way you can build a list. And that's why you need to join Magic Kingdom Mailer right now, so that you can begin to start stealing our members by sending them capture pages, sending them, whatever you need to send them in order to get them on your list so that you can begin building that relationship with them. So go choose your membership right now. The prices on this particular pre-launch are not going to stay at this level for very long.
Yeah, they go up. Yeah, I just want to mention that we will be raising them every 3 to 5 days until the site is fully ready to, has every single part in place, but it has the heart and soul of it in place right now. So you can get a really good deal on this. And it's important to think about what you're going to send out to this list or any other list. I want you to start thinking about making capture pages that are original and that people will remember when they, even if they don't, let's say somebody opened my, that song I was telling you about where we had the love song on it. They may not have signed up to that list, but I bet you that it got a lot of playing, that because when you go to the site, it opens up to this beautiful, beautiful love song. So people remember that, that oh, that's that lady that sends out love songs for no reason. Well, I like love, that's why I send them out. But you can do all sorts of interesting things. Whatever your interest is, don't be afraid to put it into your business. Put your heart into your business, and really people will respond to it. It's really that simple. All right, I want to leave a little bit of time at the end to answer people's questions, either about the new site or about anything we were talking about. Oh, you have the wrong link? Oh, okay. Which link? Which page, Phil? Oh, Phil has a wrong link on the follow along, but that's okay. Um, the point is that if anybody has any questions, type them into the chat box and let me answer them. You can change that later, can't? Oh, it's the order link. Oh, if you can't order, if you want to order from the site, that's fine. You just go to, yeah, Magic Kingdom here, right there, magickingdommailer.com. And you can, or apparently Phil put the wrong link on the site, on the follow along link. But you can order from the main thing when we're finished with the webinar. I'm more concerned that you have your questions answered about anything that you want to know about list building or being successful online. I just gave you a little, we talk about different things on all of our webinars, and some of them we do a lot of actual live demos, but sometimes I'd like to give you the bigger picture, which is what you need to do long term, to think long term about your business. In fact, I think one of the next webinars we're going to do is how do you run a business online? What I mean by that is, are you able to do an estimate of your expenses and your income? Very simple things like that. But many people online say, I don't know what it's going to cost me a year to run this business, and I have no idea what income can come from it. So running an income and expense statement is a very important thing to know how to do. It's not hard, but if you don't think about doing it, you're never, ever going to know where you are. It's like having a budget. You need to have a budget. How much am I going to spend every month on joining new lists? Because that's critical. What is it going to cost me for the year? What can I reasonably expect to make from a site? For example, one of the things people don't think about when they join a site is, let's say you join a very inexpensive site, or even let's say you join a Magic Kingdom mailer at the magician level, and you're going to make, I forget what I think 30% commission. Okay, so if somebody buys a magician under you, you're going to make 30% of $77. So think about that for a minute. Suppose you're a sorcerer, right? And you paid $377, which is going to go up at least $120, at least $120. You're going to earn 50% on that. So not only do you want to join the sites that you join at the highest level that you can afford, you want to do it because when you introduce people to a site, you want to get paid for your time. So let me grab a calculator here because I'm not good at doing math in my head. But 377 divided by 2, let's say you sell a sorcerer. And I know our sites, this level, the founding level, is always the most popular. If you sell a sorcerer from this site, you're going to put in your pocket $188.50. If you're a magician and you sell a magician, this is why I encourage people to really stretch if you can. So here's 77 times 30. This is getting into a little what you can make at a site. So here you're a magician and you sell a magician, you're going to put $23.10 in your pocket. Okay, that's not bad, but it's better to put 50% of the 77, which is $38.50. Anytime from a business standpoint, you want to come in at the highest level that you can afford, because the wizard, which is only a one-time payment, so that's good. It's not going to recur, but you're going to make, the site's so new, I don't know offhand, I think 40%. Yes, you're going to make 40% commission, which is good, but it is not as much money. And over time, if you're making 50% on your sales as opposed to say 30 or 40, you're going to pocket a lot more money. That's simply it's simply math. Basically, it's your average basic math class. So there's more than one reason. Obviously, on any site, you're going to get the best benefit at their highest paying level. So that, even if you never sell the site, if you never resell it, or you're not interested in reselling it, you just want to use it, you still get all of the best benefits by joining the site, any site this is, at the highest level possible. But if you do resell it, you are going to recoup your money really fast, and then everything else is profit. So why not try to do double duty? If you're buying into a mailer, you're going to build your list with it. You're going to make your own sales on whatever you are selling that you want to sell. But in the meantime, you can sell the highest levels of the site and earn the highest commissions. And that's really what you want to look for. That just may, now I know not everybody can afford that. So you can't, I don't want anybody to spend more money than they can comfortably afford, because that doesn't work. But on the other hand, when you look at a site, at least say to yourself, how much money, how many of these sorcerer ones do I think I might be able to sell over time? And take a year and look at that year. Look at it for a year. How many can I sell? If I sell 10 of them, how much will I make? Start to think long term. I guarantee you that if you build a list and start to think in business ways how to make a living online, you will be able to do it. So I think I want to leave this open for questions. Phil, give me what? Oh, Phil's answered all the questions. Are there any that I should share with everybody that you think would? No? Oh, it's about the order form not working. That's great. Okay, Phil now fixed the order forms. Right. So let me put we're going to let you go in a minute, but here's the follow along page. And if you refresh it, let me put it up again. If you refresh it, then the order form will be working. Sorry about that, guys. I'm going to shoot Phil later, but since he's funny, I can't really do that because he makes me laugh. So anyway, there's the order form. Just refresh the page. And if you go down here, you can take advantage of this. And I really urge you to do this. I'm so glad you joined this. I hope you got the bigger picture here today, which is make your capture page, make it interesting, put your face on it. If you really don't want to do that, okay, then put a little logo on. Send it out every day to list. Send it out every day to list. And take advantage of this huge 3-mailer mailer. 3-in-1 mailer where if you get this 377 membership, you will get access to all 3 mailers, and you are going to love this site. I know it. You know that's so. I'm going to end this now. Let you all get on. I want to wish everybody, all the fathers out there, a happy Father's Day tomorrow. Have a great weekend. And Phil, if you tell me you're done, I'm going to close this down for everyone. Is that okay? Okay, great. See ya.